If a founder starts off with prioritizing their own self-care, be it their mental and physical health, knowing that's going to be really good for business building, their decision making, then hopefully the team will follow, because we always follow our leaders and the people we aspire to be. Hi, I'm Dr. Neetu Johnson. I'm a consultant psychiatrist, which means I'm a senior medical doctor in the field of medicine, surgery and psychiatry, a branch known for the mental health medicine. I'm currently in a new role. I'm Chief Medical Officer of a founder-centric wellbeing platform called Prescribe Life, where we aim to elevate founders in their mental health so they are optimized for their performance and business decisions. I think with the co-founders, if there isn't a specific role for each founder, then that leads to founder ambiguity. With that, I think a founder becomes overwhelmed, they become stressed out, almost resentful of the other founder. That leads to mental health stress, anxiety, depression, etc. The financial stresses, obviously through entrepreneurship, raising, trying to sort out the cash flow, that causes a lot of strain. And then namely, for me, it's the communication issues between the founders and their team. That causes a huge amount of stress, especially if they haven't got the open communication styles that I would suggest within a team. So for me, open dialogue is about active listening to the other person, the team member, the founder for sure. And active listening doesn't mean that you're still on your phone and ignoring your founder. It is making sure that you speak with no interruptions, make sure you are there with empathy, again, validation to someone else's concern, make sure there is mutual respect in that conversation. That's really important for open communication styles, I think. And also knowing how the other founder wants to be addressed. So for example, some people only want this conversation via messaging or via emails. They might find the face-to-face conversation a bit conflict driven. So it could be making sure you know that person's personality and communication needs. I think that's really important at the beginning. So there is always going to be uncertainty throughout the founder journey. We know beginning's really uncertain and scary all the way through, and obviously when you exit as well. So I think it's about parking that aside and then knowing as founders what you are in control of, focusing on that. I'd say focusing on the small wins makes sense, opposed to prioritizing on what you haven't got, but where you are currently and what you can manage. But again, validation to what the team is doing is correct and you're on the same path and you're happy to where you're going. And if there is some mismatch between founders, it's okay to realize that. Perhaps you have to let each other go, or you bring in external mediation. I think that's a new one that everyone's quite happy to do within a founder journey. Yeah, healthy boundaries when starting a company or being an entrepreneurial journey is always really hard. It's really challenging because you want to give it your all. I think the main thing is to remember that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. If we can think about that as an entrepreneur, we won't burn out. And for me as a psychiatrist, I'm going to say you have to absolutely prioritize your mental health. So there are some non-negotiables that you should be carrying out daily to make sure that you are sleeping well, eating well, set your boundaries in. And I think as a founder, if you set your boundaries, that means you're giving yourself the respect that you need, then the other founder hopefully will join you with that. I think if we always say that we look to our leaders, don't we? So especially in psychiatry, I look towards my leaders or the consultants ahead of me to make sure, is that what I aspire to? Is that what kind of doctor I want to be like? So there's nothing wrong with a founder setting their boundaries and taking care of themselves. Then others will follow, especially if the founder is a leader. The team will follow, and hopefully the co-founder will have the respect that you have put into place. This is my time. I don't want to be disturbed. I've got my family. These are the hours I can manage. I want to prioritize my exercise, my mental health.